Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
you want to go? Okay.
Welcome back to Let's Play Pentiment, where we're talking to everybody on our way to the Abbey. Bye-bye, Mr. Martin Gare.
I was a potential murderer in the last one and could have been killed, so I have nothing to do in this act.
I'm not sure if that's entirely true. Hey, we gotta stop into the church to see if
Oh, the anchoress could.
if the anchoress is around. Oh, hi, Father Thomas. We're not talking to you just yet. We're not showing you the book that makes you murder people.
The murder book.
Wait, what? Go to the mill. Damn it.
It's the place that makes you go mad.
What, the mill? Hi, Magda. Need something? Maybe. I'm looking into the history of Tassing. Your grandpa always said he told you a lot of things about the old ways. I think some families have remembered more than others. Yeah, your grandfather. Can you recall anything?
I'm gonna let that kitty in.
Yes. Yes, of course. I'm fortunate that both my grandfather and Otilla taught me what they knew. Her mind was still so sharp even up until the end. Sharp-tongued too, as I recall, or say nothing. I think we shouldn't insult Otilla.
Well, I don't know.
What do you think?
Let's be neutral and say nothing, because we don't know how she feels.
I'm grateful I got to spend time with her before she passed.
Oh, yep, good.
What do you remember from then? Oh, wow. Okay, so look at the head on this calf. It looks so freaking weird. It looks like a horse.
Uh-huh.
And then this cow's udder, it looks like it's got like just two fingers hanging down. These are some disturbing cows. Grandpa told me all sorts of charms and things to do to protect against evil. But I imagine you're not interested in that.
Yes.
Might be. He says that it was Percher who protected the forest from witches, not St. John. God and his saints have dominion over the town and the abbey. But Percher still watches over all of our wild places. I see. What about St. Cynthia?
There are saint words for wild places too, though.
Yes, we'll bring that up. St. Hubert saw a stag. Oh, good, I get to fingermonger him while hunting on Good Friday. Nobleman of Toulouse who became the Bishop of Liege, he had a spiritual awakening during a hunt on Good Friday, during which he saw a stag with a cross between its horns. The stag spoke to Herbert and commanded him to lead a holy life. Why would he go hunting on Good Friday?
I mean, that was probably the point. He was doing something that was not allowed.
The cross appeared between the stag's horns and instructed Hubert to turn to the Lord. Grandpa believes in the saintic just as he believes in Percha.
Saintic?
Yeah, it had to...
Saints.
It had to correct itself. It was different.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did. He said that Percha's power is shown in certain places and times. There is no conflict for dominion between her and the saints. I see. And Otilla knew all of the old chants in another language. She told me what they meant, but she couldn't, translate them, I suppose. They had to do with Pertra, but also with St. Mortis. So where did they come from? She didn't know, but I think I figured it out after she passed. There were some people coming through town, and I heard them speaking their language. It didn't quite sound like the words Otilla used, but close. And they said that St. Mortis was the patron of their home, too. Are these the weird pilgrim people that keep showing up?
Possibly.
Really? Where were they from? Saint Maurice? Yeah, let's ask that. There's a legend that the saint died there in Valais. Valais? No, they said they were from Graubünden, Swiss, though. They said there was a holy spring in their town that had been blessed by St. Mortis. Oh, were they speaking Romanesque?
What's the thing longer?
Spoken in Switzerland, dominantly in the canton of Graubünden, Romansh language developed from a blend of Vulgar Latin and early German.
Oh, were they speaking Romansh?
I don't know. I only ever heard it that one time, other than from Attila, I mean. She said we all used to know the chants language generations ago. I don't know. Maybe we weren't always the people here. What do you mean? Maybe we came from somewhere else, our families, I mean. But people have been in Tassing since before the Romans came. That can't be true. So let's look at this one. That's what I've heard. People say the mine has been here forever. But, I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of things. Maybe there's no sense to be made of it. I don't know if any of this is useful to you. Well, I still have to decide what to paint, so it might be. Even if it isn't useful, it's interesting. I'm glad Ursula told me all of this, but I can't imagine Father Thomas would approve. Probably be worse if an Inquisitor heard about some of the things she believes. Well, she's older than me. If she's made it this far, I suppose she'll be fine. I think.
They'll just, yeah.
Good. Not everyone appreciates hearing about these things. I know. You should be careful, Ursula.
Yeah.
Why? Because Father Thomas likes to murder people. Not everyone is open-minded as I am. And then there's that crazy Gnostic. You should not talk to him either.
Yes.
I just don't want you to get in trouble. Alright, I appreciate the concern. Thank you for your help. Anytime, I'll see you later. Until then. Okay, hey dude, do you have anything to say? Fabian? No, you don't. Bye-bye. Where are you going, lady? Back to the mill. Nobody wants to have lunch with us anymore.
Well, no, because these days are going little bits at a time.
Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? Oh, yeah, she might know something.
Who is she?
This is Lenhart's wife.
Oh.
I wanted to ask you some questions about your family for the mural. Dad was telling me your family's been in Tassing for hundreds of years. Should we tell her we want to ask about the mural? I think we should, because she said she was, like, super interested in it earlier.
Yeah.
The Muellers? I only know a little about Lenhart's people, I'm afraid. And much of that I heard from others. Lenhart didn't care to talk about the past. You mean all the people he slept with? I mean your family, the one you were born to. We don't want to talk about Lenhart. Your family's name was Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Ellipses. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbors had forgotten us. Yeah, they were probably just worried about Lenhart, like, beating them or something. Can I ask, how did you come to know my family name? Dad mentioned it. He said you were the last of your family. I'm not surprised your father remembers the Caviziels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I am the last of us left now. Caviziel doesn't sound like a local name. What happened to your family? Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be? I am Bavarian. It is my name, so it is a Bavarian name. That sounds suspicious. No one else in town has a name like that. And shouldn't yours be Caviezelin? I have always been called Caviezel, as were my sisters and mother and her mother before her. My grandfather told me that the Caviziels have lived in this area for hundreds of years.
Huh.
And perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago.
Is she descended from a Roman family, then?
Ursula thinks the families who arrived after the Romans came from somewhere else. The Cavesials were pagans.
Let's see what the Ursula says.
Yeah. Were they Romans? Not Bavarian like we think. That's ridiculous. Ursula's family may well not be Bavarian, but mine is. What gave her that idea? Kemper told her that a family once knew old. I'm not sure, it was confusing. We don't want to rat on her.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's not true. We are Bavarians. Well, I wasn't talking about you guys. Before and after the Romans, we have always been Bavarians. Ah, so you were here before the Romans. When I think of the ancient Cavesials driven from their land only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. You understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mom. I don't know. It's a strange way of thinking to me.
Oh, hi.
Don't remember her face, but when he tells me about her smile, I can almost recall it. Yes, it doesn't matter whether you really remember. When I sing my sister's favorite songs to Ulrike, I may not know all the words anymore, but that's all right. Just as I may not know exactly how the Cavesials resettled Tassing. What matters is that I feel closer to her and them, even though they are far away from me now. That is what stories are for, Magda. Now go on. You've got a mural to complete. Thank you, Elsa. You've given me much to consider. God bless you, Magdalene, dear. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Anna. How are you? Oh, keeping busy. There's always plenty to do around the house. How is the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. Oh, I'll have to thank him. That's high praise from a councilman. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. I didn't really think the council cared so much. How about this one?
Sure.
Oh, how wonderful. I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrike by sometime to see your progress.
Saying Andreas was like, what? Oh, right.
Well, get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can't imagine it. I've had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble we had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. Discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know I was a real rascal back in the day, skipped on work with my parents more than I can count. You're so hardworking, Anna.
Sound like a regular St. Augustine?
So it wasn't Big Jorg who was the troublemaker? What? That's so weird.
Augustine.
Why?
Augustine.
Why?
Augustine.
Why?
Augustine.
Okay, I'm going to say this because you won't tell me why.
It's just because it's Augustine.
He was an ass. Or how about this one?
No, Big York's fine.
Yeah, I want to find out why there's this joke about Big York. Wait, no!
You clicked the thing longer. Oops.
What? Where's...
Oh, I thought... Oh, you didn't yell at me.
No! What? It's funny to consider, isn't it? I was a thief and a scoundrel. It started with cakes from my mother's table still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found around the tavern. Okri's little hat once even belonged to Andres Mailer, your father's friend. I stole it from his head. Oh, it's Andres.
I was thinking that. It's like, no, it's too patched to be Andreas's hat.
Of course, stealing is against the commandments.
Lord's commandments.
So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already and march me to church to pray. By the time I grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. What changed? I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the trouble started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. I said I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andres and Ulrike on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. I think Ulrich would be proud. I think everyone can learn from your example, Anna. That's more charitable than most people in Tassing deserve.
Ulrich would be proud.
Yes. Thank you, Magdalene. That means more than you know. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. I'll see you later, Anna. God bless you, Magdalene. Hey, Ulrike. Yeah. Okay. Out.
Oh, there's Paul.
Oh, he's playing with Andres. No Stegosaurus. Damn it.
He's seen Andreas draw and he's probably feeling sad.
Oh, this thing. I guess. But it's still beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. All right, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Druckiran. Hello, Martha. Carl, how are you today? On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Soul says my dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old, hee. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories, hee.
Is he the one that was petting that chicken?
Yes. You listen to your daughter, Carl. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Hasn't he earned a rest? This one?
No, listen to your daughter, Carl.
You young girls think you're my keeper. Is that it? I've always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments from me there. Sounds like you have Martha to thank for your health. You're in a good mood today, I see.
Good mood, yeah.
Plenty of reason to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. In the meadow, a wondrous sight even in this season. On days the Lord strengthens me, I like going a bit higher up the mountain. Used to admire the view with Anton from here. Who the hell is Anton? Oh, right. Ellipses. Aw, Anton, my poor boy. Was he killed in the revolt? It'll be all right, Dad. You still miss your son? No, I'm sorry, Carl.
You don't say that!
Yeah, we know how that goes. It's not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe, then. I can't... It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not.
It's not.
He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. Let him continue. Abby was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Lanschneck stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? I still think of my mother every day. Nothing can make up for a loss like that.
I do remember somebody with a child back then.
I'll pray I will see him in death. Dad, it's not good for you to dwell on these memories. It's fine, lady. Shut up. He can feel bad if he wants to. I know. Permit an old man his weakness. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? Let me distract you. 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Ellipses. More ellipses. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. And a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand
Jesus Christ.
where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that.
So let me get this straight. He was trying to get to his child, and one of the soldiers got between him.
No, he was injured by the fire, and his child was dragged him out of the fire and was trying to help him, and the soldier got between them.
I thought his child was just a babe.
Well, clearly he wasn't. You can see in the picture that he was older. Not super old necessarily, but I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I'm there still. The Abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Wait for him to continue. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl. Martha, I'm sorry you had to relive all that again.
I'm sorry.
No, it needs to be told. Put it in the mirror. We can't let people forget. Not here, not anywhere else. The Abbey burned. People died. We have to remember, and our children have to remember because when no one remembers any longer, they will all be truly dead. It's time we continue with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much alive now. Be well, you two, and we're out of time.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Until next time, everyone, bye.